Chinese President Xi Jinping is headed for Washington, D.C. in high-level talks with President Obama, his first official state visit to the U.S. He'll meet with members of Congress and address the United Nations. But first, he'll spend 3 days in the Seattle area, meeting with business leaders. Former Washington Governor Gary Locke served as U.S. ambassador to China under President Obama.
Between our two countries, every day flow almost $1.5 billion of goods and services, and millions of jobs in America depend on that trade with China. Our trade has grown astronomically over the last several years.
Xi is scheduled to give a major policy speech, tour a Boeing manufacturing plant, and reportedly have dinner with Microsoft's Bill Gates. American tech firms are looking for some kind of assurances that they can do business fairly in China without undue government interference.
Obviously, a big concern about cybersecurity. Obviously, a concern about the lack of a level playing field for American firms in China, discrimination against foreign firms, as well as the lack of a rule of law and inadequate protections of our intellectual property, our trade secrets.
Xi is the fourth consecutive Chinese leader to visit the Northwest. Longtime tech writer and current Seattle Times columnist Briar Dudley sees the area as a natural stopover.
They want to encourage entrepreneurs to build companies that thrive not just in China, but thrive internationally. And what better examples are there to come to Seattle and look at Microsoft and look at Starbucks and look at Boeing?
It will likely be a soft landing in the West before more substantive talks and a harder line at a much higher level back east.
We are preparing a number of measures that will indicate to the Chinese that this is not just a matter of us being mildly upset, but is something that will put significant strains on the bilateral relationships.
So I think it's a good cop, bad cop situation where we can play good cop here and talk about entrepreneurialism and good relationships and trade relationships. And then hopefully Obama's going to play the bad cop and take a firmer line on some of these things.
The visit comes at a time when China is flexing its military muscle and trying to solidify territorial claims in the South China Sea. Those issues, along with cybersecurity and trade, all expected to be on the agenda when the two presidents meet.